Hello, Drive Radio fans. Richard Rush here today with my dad, John Rush, behind the camera. And we are going to take a long look at the 2016 Subaru WRX STI Limited with actually a special edition, actually, let me get this right. I'm going to make sure I say it right. Series Hyper Blue paint. So this paint is special for 2016. We'll get into that a little bit later. They completely redesigned the WRX in the 2015 model year. So they haven't made a ton of changes, made a few added little additions. But again, this is the STI version, bigger engine, more powerful brakes, different suspension, more aggressively tuned. With that being said, let's get right into it. So we'll come to the front, and again, as you can see, for those of you that are WRX fans, you'll notice the changes that they made in 2015. One of our personal favorites is this color. We actually had several different people on several different occasions pull up to us, whether it be on the highway, whether it be at a stoplight in the parking lot, and comment about how beautiful this new color looks. And again, I'm going to reiterate, it's the Series Hyper Blue paint. And in fact, if you get this Series Hyper Blue paint on here, it comes with a lot of different options that it's not going to. The STI, or I should say not going to normally, the STI model is available in two trim packages, the base trim package along with the limited trim package. What does the limited trim package give you? It's going to give you added leather upholstery, a moonroof. Part of that those wheels are a BBS alloy wheel, so those are definitely going to be added options. And your only actual option available on this car is actually found right here with this nice rally style wing spoiler. So if you want this, the classic traditional, for those of you that are STI fans, everyone knows what this looks like. For those of you that don't, Subaru now offers, and let me make sure I say this right, a new low-profile trunk lip spoiler. So gets rid of the fin, the rally-style fin, and moves that down to the trunk. And we do apologize about the lighting. We're kind of coming around to get better lighting for you so you don't see as many of our shadows. Overall, absolute blast car to drive. I'm going to go through a few performance, I guess I should say, let me think how to say this, performance additives for this vehicle. So what does the STI give you over the normal WRX? Obviously a more powerful engine, 305 horsepower, Brembo brakes, front and rear limited slip differential, and a more aggressively tuned suspension system, as well as your center differential is adjustable, which we'll show you here in the cabin. Overall, just a blast to drive. It is going to be a little bit more aggressively riding than your other WRX and even some of its competitors. But again, this is the STI 2016 Subaru STI. With that being said, let's take a quick drive. We'll do our best to show you what all this car can handle, what all this car can do, and we'll come back, go through the interior, and then give you our opinion of the 2016 Subaru WRX STI Limited. All right, fans, we're going to jump right into the driving portion. We're going to talk about what I like to call the performance panel, the performance area. It allows you to see a lot of different aspects of the car. So right now you've got your turbo gauge, see the ability to see what your PSI is at that given point in time. As we cycle through, you have the ability of, again, just a basic miles per gallon, which you can see we've been able to average close to 19, and that's with what it's rated for with my heavy foot. You have the clock right there, analog and digital. Again, the ability to see where your range is, how much more gas that you do have, your fuel economy. This allows you to see all four tires, which one's slipping, all that sort of information. It gives you a great outer view of the car while you're still inside. And again, more odometer, average miles per gallon, acceleration, things like that. As we kind of real quick, you also have, this is your AC, your AC cooling, all your different modes, your fan speed, if you're going to recirculate the air, what you're going to do there, dual climate control, all of that. This is, again, the new Starlink display. There's the available 7-inch option. I'm a total fan of this system. Think it works absolutely fantastic. It really resembles that of Toyota, and for those of you that are in the know that Toyota and Subaru do use a lot of their different, I guess the same technology is very similar. One thing I'm going to try and show you, and I apologize for my kind of finger and hand, is the ability of this car when you're actually on a phone call, or even when you're not, the ability to hit this button, you can actually pause and rewind live radio. So if you're listening to a radio show, you're hearing it, and you want to stop, and you're don't want to take a phone call, you have the ability of, it will pause it and you can actually jump right back into the spot and where you pause it. Very, very cool feature. Very easy to use, very simple to use system. All the other controls are very intuitive, very easy to use. And Subaru, last point I will make, I love that you have the ability to have a tune knob as well as a volume knob. Definite fans. Steering wheel controls are pretty much standard for what you would get with Subaru. For those of you that are familiar with that, feel free to, again, kind of, you can comment in the section below, but really I'm a fan. Very easy to use, very intuitive. I love this, again, flat bottom steering wheel. Works fantastic, and in the grip, you have a very solid handle on this car when you are driving it. So definite fans of that. With that being said, let's take a quick drive. One thing I will note on the STI, the only transmission available is the 6-speed manual. So for those of you who don't know how to drive a manual, you probably need to opt for the actual, just the WRX model rather than the STI model. So with that, we'll kind of take a drive here real quick. Oh, and actually I do need to show you one thing real quick. I almost forgot. This does have a rear view camera, which does pop up right here. Does not have the dynamic grid lines that move when the steering wheel does move. So you can, again, you're gonna have to be the judge. It's not a deal breaker for us, just something we like to make aware of. But it does give you green, you're okay. Yellow, you might want to start paying attention, and then red right there, also kind of a center point of the car, which is really, really fantastic. So with that being said, now we can kind of take a drive. As we get going here, one thing you will notice, and we'll talk about this more in the opinion portion, some people aren't gonna like the rough ride that the STI provides. Again, that's part of the more aggressively tuned suspension, as well as the cabin noise. You do get a lot of it. You get a lot of chatter, a lot of outside wind noise, especially when you're on highway, and this car honestly begs you to go faster. And when you do go faster, as a result, you're going to get more of that road noise and outside noise attributed to the cabin. So is that a deal breaker? You're going to have to be the judge. For some of you that are taking this to the racetrack, you're going to say, who cares? For those of you that are going to use this as a daily driver, that's where you're going to have to really be the judge. One thing we are absolute fans is, you'll notice we do have a little bit of snow left here in Colorado. We had 12 inches of snow last week, between 8 and 12. And one thing that I will say about this car is it handles the snow tremendous. No other way to say it. Subaru and their all-wheel drive technology. If you're from Colorado, you know the area. You know that Subaru sells exceptionally well here in Colorado. And one thing, and part of the reason why, is the all-wheel drive system works tremendous. And especially in these, again, the WRX and the STI, this Boxer engine works absolutely fantastic, especially with it being turbocharged. It's just awesome. Last thing I will say, or a couple last things, fuel economy. This car is rated for 19, and we were able to average right around there, even with my lead foot. My dad, who's a little bit more conservative of a driver, he's actually behind the camera, he was able to average between 20 and 21 miles per gallon. This is actually rated for about 23 city or highway. Something to be mindful of, not a deal breaker by any means. Overall, love this car. It's absolutely fantastic to drive, really sporty feel, hugs the road, is just absolutely, honestly, a blast to drive. So in our opinion, Subaru did a great job. With that being said, let's head on back. We'll go through the interior, and then we'll give you our full opinion of the 2016 Subaru WRX STI. All right, fans, we're back from our driving portion. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Especially with a car like this, it's hard to actually get you as a fan to understand the pure power and performance that's in a vehicle like this. So we encourage you, get out if you're serious about purchasing one of these. Get out to your local Subaru dealer and test it out for sure. We're here for the trunk. I'm going to make one more comment. I'm going to harp on this throughout this review. Absolute beautiful paint job with this, again, with this series hyper blue paint that Subaru has put on. I love the blacked out lettering that they put there. The red STI, it's just very noticeable. This blue paint looks absolutely fantastic. You can see the quad exhaust right here. Car sounds really, really good. Just absolute huge fan of this. So there's two ways to open the trunk. You can either use the key fob, it just barely pops it open, or there's actually a button on the back. Push it, lifts it up. You will notice it's not an automatic trunk, but this, and this is part of, again, the performance aspect, this trunk is so light, you barely have to touch it in order to get it to come up, and it comes all the way up. You don't have to worry about the rear fin hitting the glass or anything like that. We're going to try and stay out of the light. Very decent sized cabin space and cargo space here in the back area, in the back trunk space. You do have the option of actually folding down those seats. Let me show you right here really quick. Like this, and if I had these seats folded forward, we actually had someone tall in there, they would actually fold not all the, or nearly flat. And you know what, I'll show you here real quick. Let me see. So you can see it's nearly flat, not quite. There's a little bit of a hump there, a little bit of a, I guess, added little slope. Nothing that's too major, and nothing that's gonna prevent it for you to do it. But again, what this car is, just like a lot of other Subaru vehicles, this car is a all-wheel drive, and let me tell you, it would work fantastic in the snow here in Colorado. This car works fantastic. We talked about a little bit about in the driving, and we'll get more to it in the opinion, but absolute, just total fans of this vehicle, especially in the snow. We had about a foot of snow here in Colorado lately, and it works. So slam that closed real quick. And actually, we'll come around to the passenger side here. And I did scoot this seat up just a little bit, as you just saw in the other portion of the review. So I'm going to slide in and kind of show you what it looks like. So this is scooted forward. One thing I will say, this seat over here is I guess set for about a 5'10", 5'9" driver. Again, that's how tall we are, and you can see even if it was back, I would still have a healthy 1, 2, 3 inches of room, and I've got a good amount of room right here, and up front there's more than enough room. So plenty of room back here. Love the space that it provides. We're going to show you the trim. Again, we're going to do our best to show you what it looks like without the shadows. I love the fantastic blue stitching that they give you. The limited model is going to give you that leather upholstery, which is really, really nice. You have this nice soft suede material right here, a cup holder down here. There are no vents back here. There's no added seat heaters, anything like that. Pretty standard for the back seat, but overall relatively comfortable. Headroom is very adequate. We're able to slide out, no issues here. Slide in and out, really easy to do. Again, Subaru just makes a fantastic car. You can fit your friends in here, 4 friends, and relatively easy to do. So with that being said, I'll actually hop into the front seat and we'll go through the rest of the interior. All right, fans, we're here for the front seat portion. I'm going to go over some of the apportionments and then we'll head on out of here. Real quick, I'm going to show you right here, the back of the headrest does have the nice STI emblem kind of stamped into the back headrest here. Really nice sporty seat, really holds you in, especially when you get going in this car. Really absolutely fantastic seats, great for that. We showed you along the back seat, you can see again the nice suede kind of upholstery that they've added on the side doors there. Nice Harman Kardon audio system, really works fantastic. We showed you a little bit of that in the driving. I love the carbon fiber, and again with the lighting I do apologize, but I love the carbon fiber inserts that they've put everywhere throughout the cabin. Really does go well and flows well. One thing I will add, really nice storage. I've got an iPhone 6 Plus right here, and what's nice is if you like to store whatever it is right here, you can just put it right there and it fits in there very nicely. Don't have to worry about having to mess with that or have it stick out here, especially when you're doing shifting. One thing it's hard to show you, at night you have the ability, a lot of these other subtle features light up. This STI logo, for example, will actually light up at night. Looks really fantastic. A lot of nice red hues throughout the cabin. Really does look great. The last couple things, you have your 3 driver selectable modes here. The Intelligent Drive Sport and the Sport Sharp mode. Here's the ability to adjust your center differential. You can do it automatically and kind of let the car do it, or you can do it manually. You do have cup holders here, 2 seat heaters, and here's a very small kind of center dash here, center console you can say. It does have 2 USBs and auxiliary plus a power port. And one last thing I will say is I do like Subaru's kind of system here, dual screen system, where your performance is right up here and your infotainment and the new touchscreen for the 2016 model year is right here. Absolutely works fantastic. Last thing I'll mention is the dual climate control. With that being said, actually we'll hop out and I'll give you our opinion of the 2016 Subaru WRX STI. Alright fans, we're here for the opinion portion and also wanted to show you underneath the hood. That's where the real performance and real kind of features of this car, again 2016 Subaru WRX STI, the real features of this car lie. Turbocharged engine, functional hood scoop as you can see right here. The intercooler, absolutely fantastic. This car works tremendously well, especially at our altitude. And for those car buffs that do know about the altitude and how cars work, the Boxer engine works tremendously well up here at our altitude. It just works fantastic. So what are the pros of this car? In my opinion, what we like to call it is the snow rocket. The all-wheel drive works tremendous. This car flat out flies. It will get up and go. It will handle and will do everything that you could ever imagine. Anyone as an average person that wants to go buy basically a race car, rally car from the dealership, you can go buy this car tomorrow and you'd have the capabilities of doing that. The cons, a little bit of a rough ride, noisy interior in the cabin. It's not quite as quiet as we would like to see, but again, it's a rally car, something that you're going to have to think of when you do purchase this car. And the last con or pro for some of you is the price point. This car, as it sits, just under $40,000 at $39,790 as it sits right here. You're going to have to be the judge if that's going to be too much or not. In our opinion, it's really a great value for the money. You get a lot of horsepower. There's a lot of aftermarket accessories that you can add on to this particular vehicle. Absolutely fantastic. Subaru, 2 thumbs up in our opinion. If you want to learn more about this vehicle, again, 2016 Subaru WRX STI, head to your local Subaru dealer and tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.